Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, whiskey aficionados, no matter where you reside. This is the Mad Mix Cheap Whiskey Review, number 47, Northcross Triple Wood Irish Whiskey. Never seen this one before. I went to I got another random liquor store down the road that I never go to because when they first opened, they were kind of expensive. But I went in there today and they had some interesting whiskeys. But they're still kind of expensive, but they look like they're trying to compete with the other local stores. This was $20 out the door, $19.99 out the door. They had a bunch of cases of it. Like I said, I've never seen it before. Don't know if it's new. It is aged in bourbon, sherry, and American oak casks, and it is 43% alcohol, 86 proof. So you get a little extra proof on it. Very unusual for a cheap whiskey. Usually they are jipping you with the 40 and the 80 proof. So this gives you a little extra proof. Never heard of it, never drank it, don't know what to expect out of it. It gets a little time in sherry casks, so it's kind of probably like which is the one there's another Irish whiskey. It's either Glendella or there's another one I think that uses triple wood. The name is not coming to me right now, but occasionally you'll find some of these Irish distilleries that go triple wood, triple distillation, and apparently this is one of them. So, with all that being spoken, let's have a nice sniff of it. Well, not much going on. I smell malt, that's about it. Yeah, it smells smooth enough though. You're not getting any ethanol on it. Triple distillation will usually smooth these Irish whiskeys out. Been a while since I had an Irish whiskey. I think probably the last one I did was maybe the Redbreast 15. I've got both the Redbreast 15 and 12 somewhere in the reviews. You can go check them out if you want. I've been doing a lot more Scotch than I have been Irish lately, but this one not only was cheap, which was fitting into my budget this week, but it also looked interesting. And since I've never seen it before, most of my other local stores, I've already gone through pretty much everything they have in stock. So any Irish whiskey that I haven't done, probably I can't find lately, around me. If I see another one coming up or see one in my travels, I'll pick another one up. I don't mind a good Irish. This one doesn't have a whole lot going on to it. I smell malt on the nose, or barley malt. Even though this isn't a single malt, there's probably some kind of grain whiskey in there. You get a hint of malt, and that's about it. I don't smell much else. It's real smoothed out. Like I said, these triple distillations will take a lot of character out of some of these whiskeys. But with that being said, we're not here to sniff it. We're here to drink it, people. Let's go. All right, a little more interesting on the palate, for sure. I'm getting a hint of malt with some sweetness right up front. Through the mid palate, I'm getting some fruit, probably from them sherry casks. And the finish is nice. The finish is smooth. It's not too spicy on the finish. Nice, well-rounded. It goes down nice. Sorry if you see a little condensation on the bottle. It was about 100 degrees here today. I picked this up in a 6-pack of Harpoon on my way to work, and I had to put them in. I had to put it in an ice bucket because it was like 100 degrees inside and outside of my car. So while I was working, I kept my beer and this in a bucket of ice water just so it wasn't boiling friggin' warm. So if you see a little condensation, that's probably what it's from. Yeah, then going back to the nose, I'm getting all grain. You know what I mean? Some malt, some grain. Not much else. Maybe on the second, if you huff it big enough, you get a hint of vanilla. But a very very rounded nose. Like there's no jaggedness, no ethanol to it. Of course, you get no age statement with this, so it's probably fairly young. It says it's non-chill filtered. I believe it says non-chill filtered. It does not say non-artificially colored, and I would imagine this has some artificial color in it, unless they left them in the sherry cask for quite a bit of time. So this is another one of these that doesn't say whether they move whether they age it separately in these 3 barrels and then blend it, or whether they take them and move them from barrel to barrel for a certain period of time. I would imagine they probably age it in different barrels and then blend all the barrels together, because it would be a lot of work to to move one barrel to two other barrels over the course of time. You know what I mean? That'd take a lot of work. So they probably just aged them in different barrels, blend them together, and you get what you get. All right, one more sip and we'll wrap this up. Yeah, it's got a nice sweetness to it. It's got a hints of fruit. There's not a ton of malt. There's more malt in the nose than there is in the palate, that's for sure. But it's got like a honey sweetness to it, a kind of a fruit to it. You know, it almost tastes like a candied fruit a little bit. You know what I mean? Not heavy. This is no sherry bomb. Don't get me, don't get it twisted. It's got some decent legs on it. I don't know if you can see them, but the legs are hanging around on the glass. You know what I mean? It is, so they're coming back down, but they're not going back down too fast. Yeah, let me get one more sip. See if I can't find any last remnants out of this palate. Yeah, right off the rip, as soon as it hits your mouth, it's sweet. Not terribly grainy. I'm getting hints of fruit, probably from the sherry, but they're not deep fruit. It's almost like a peachy apple-ish type thing. It's not like plums or prunes or raisins. It's kind of nice. Maybe even a hint of cherry, something like that. But not a deep, dark cherry, like a light hint of it. But it's nice, and it's got a very smooth palate. It goes down very smooth. You know what I mean? Very approachable whiskey. All right, the Mad Micks Cheap Whiskey Review, number 37. Northcross Triple Wood Irish Whiskey. 80, what did I say it was? 86 proof. And triple distilled, obviously, would it be an Irish. I'm going to give this an 8.7 or an 8.8, somewhere up in there. Mostly because of the price. I think this is a good bang for a buck for $20. You know what I mean? It's hard to get yourself into a decent Irish whiskey for $20 or less. You know what I mean? Most Irish whiskey, even if you get Bushmills, or something cheap, it's up over 25 bucks or around 25 bucks, 23 bucks, somewhere in there. The Glendella and some of the other ones. I think I saw Kilconnedy or whatever it is, which was about a $30 bottle. So, you're not finding too many decent drinkable Irishes for $19.99 where I'm at. Of course, I got no idea what the price will be where you're at. Sometimes people leave comments for me, for me in the comments section on the different whiskeys, and where I'll pay 55 bucks or 50 bucks or something, somebody else is paying 80 bucks for it. You know what I mean? So I mean, prices can vary widely. They had a lot of cases of this, so that's probably why it was cheap. Maybe they got a good deal if they bought 5, 6, 10 cases, whatever it is. So yeah, it gets my recommendation. This is not a bad Irish whiskey. And that little hint of sherry, that little hint of fruit in it, it's not overwhelming. Like I said, don't expect a sherry bomb out of this. It's not that. But it is a very sweet, approachable, slightly fruity, in the mid-palate Irish whiskey. So it gets my recommendation. I like this whiskey. It's not bad at all. I would go back to this. You know what I mean? I've had, this beat, for me, this Jameson loses to this. And probably Bushmills does too, although I do like Jameson and Bushmills, I'm not going to front on them. But for dinner, I certainly don't pay 20 bucks for them here. They're like $25 bottles where I'm at. Somewhere between 23, 25, maybe a little more in some cases. So for $20, I would buy it again. I would recommend it. I would give it to a friend and not worry about it. You could drink this very easily. It's very approachable. It doesn't beat you up with ethanol. It doesn't beat you up with a harsh drink when you drink it down. You know what I mean? It's very nice. Nice whiskey. I like it. I recommend it, all right? Love and respect yourself. Always. You don't love and respect yourself, other people will take advantage of you. So always treat yourself with love and respect. Same thing with your family and friends. And love cheap whiskey, especially this Northcross. If you come across it, I would get a bottle. Give it a try if you like Irish whiskey. I've had far worse. All right, people, be good. I'll see you in the next one.